Okay, Piecewise. Now, if you're a Piecewise expert, personally, I tell you to go work on the review or one of the homework assignments or something like that. If you're not, here's what we're going to do to help you out. We're going to take the best of both worlds here. I'm going to show you how I did this first one on the front already, and then we're going to do 2 on the back, just to make sure we got this down. So when I'm doing Piecewise, number 1 job, find the restriction, find the inequality that has to do with it. So for instance, on these 2, my restriction is right here. It tells me I'm starting at 2. That's where my values have to start, somewhere along this value line where x equals 2. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that value in and plot that point. So basically, here's what I've done. I said, okay, I'm going to take this 2. I'm going to plug it in here. I'm going to see what answer I get out. So if I do that, if I plug in 2 where x is at, 2 times 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3. So here's what that means. It means when x is 2, my y value, because that's what f of x means, is 3. And it says open circle. Now, how do I know that? Remember, if there's no line underneath, that's what tells me that it's open. So I go to 2, 3, put an open circle. Okay. Then I got to figure out where do my next points want to be, because I've shown some of you the chart, but some of you don't like the chart. So I'm like, okay, I'll adjust. I want points to the right of that. How do I know? It's greater than. The arrow's eating x. So I just use the slope. My slope is 2. Up 2 and right 1. Up 2 and right 1. And connect the dots. So we're doing like a half chart, half plotting, because a lot of you are great at plotting lines, you just don't know where to start. So hopefully this is going to help that way. And then I do the same thing for the second one. I look at it and I go, okay, starting at 2. So I plug 2 in where x is at. So y equals 2 plus 3, which is 5. So for this one, my point's going to be at 2, 5, but it's going to be closed because it's or equal to. So 2, 5, close dot. And then I look at the slope. I want it to be less than. X's point, the arrow is pointing at x. That's what less than means. Where are my values of x going to be less than? As I go to the left. So I look at my slope and I go, okay, slope's 1 over 1. Up 1 and right. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to go up and right. If the slope's 1 and I don't want to go up and right, what can I do? Okay, I can go down and left. Down and left. But then I know where to start the line. Okay? So just plug in the value to start your line, then use your slope. Now, like I said, and it says at the bottom, assume students know how to graph a line. If you're not good at graphing lines, you've got to keep using the chart and just start at these numbers, okay? But just to make sure, I'm going to do one of them with you, and I'm going to leave you one to kind of play with as you're on your own for practice to see if you're getting the hang of this or not. And that's a good thing when I'm walking around that you can say, okay, did I do this one right? We could look. We can say yes or no, we need to fix this. So I get to the back. I say, okay, x is greater than or equal to 4. I'm plugging a 4 in here. 4 minus 4. And again, that's my y equals. Half of 4 is 2. Minus 4 is negative 2. So I have a point at 4, my x value that I plugged in, negative 2, the y value I got out. Is my dot at 4, negative 2 going to be open or closed? With the little line underneath, closed. Okay? So 4, negative 2, closed. And then it says if x is greater than 4. In other words, I want the values to the right. So I look at my slope and I say, okay, my slope's 1/2. Up 1, right 2. I ran out of room, so I'll just use the 2 dots. I'll connect the dots. And then I just do the process one more time with the second one. I go, okay, it's 4 again, so y equals negative 4 plus 1, negative 3. Okay, so for the second one, I'm going to start at 4, because that's where it says, got to start somewhere on here. 4, negative 3, and it's less than. I want the points to the left. So, okay, so 4, negative 3. What type of dot am I putting here? Open. So my slope is negative 1 over 1. So I'm like, okay, so down 1, right, wait. I don't want right, I want left. So if I can't go down and right, we're close. Up and left. Because the opposite of down is up, opposite of right is left. So I'm going to go up, make a couple of points, connect the dots. Okay? So use the value to find your first point, and then you can use slope to finish it after that. Or you can use the chart, okay? Either of those work okay. So just something for you to consider. So here